All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Brandy Gershon. Just a couple of housekeeping items this afternoon before we get started. So you can see how to ask questions. Please use the Q&A button at the bottom. Your camera and your microphone are off, so you are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you, so just be aware of that. You can sign up for more sessions following this session. You can visit the virtual fair link, and that will allow you to sign up for as many sessions as you'd like. A recording of this session will be available following the presentation. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our panelists.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to start off, we're talking about big things in small places. So as an introduction, we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves for you guys to get to know us a little bit better. Go ahead, Angelo.
Hey, everybody. I'm Angelo. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Caldwell University. Caldwell University is a small private school located in Caldwell, New Jersey, with about 2,200 undergraduate students. About 30 majors. Our most popular majors are nursing, psychology, criminal justice, and business. As far as unique programs, we have art therapy, applied behavior analysis, and also esports management. And we're an NCAA Division II school.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Lambert. I'm an Assistant Director of Admission at Meredith College. We are located in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are an all-women's institution founded in 1891. We enroll approximately 2,000 students. We offer over 80 majors, minors, and concentrations for our students. Some of our largest majors tend to be biology, psychology, business, and education. And we also have some really unique majors. We just started hospitality and tourism management about 2 years ago. Interior design, fashion design and merchandising, our dual engineering degree with North Carolina State University in Raleigh, criminology, graphic design, and environmental sustainability, just to name a few.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Temples. I work at Marywood University. We're located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We have about 3,000 students on campus, about 2,000 undergrad and about 1,000 grad. We have over 50 majors and tons of opportunities for graduate programs and 5-year programs on campus. Some of our popular majors are in the health sciences. We have a 5-year communication science disorders program. We're known for our architecture program, and we have a very robust business department. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus that range from social to service to department clubs. So what is a small private liberal arts college? So it's a school that's about 5,000 students or less. So public colleges are primarily funded through the government. So kind of the difference with private colleges is that they're primarily funded through endowment funds and tuition. Liberal arts colleges and universities, they focus on diverse curriculum and well-rounded education. A really great example for this would be, you know, if you're working in athletic training, for example, you know, you have that philosophy, the history background to kind of talk to anybody from any walk of life that you may be working with.
So let's talk a little bit about the academic setting and environment that you're more likely to find at smaller private institutions like all of ours. You're definitely going to find small class sizes, no big lecture halls. At Meredith, our average class size is actually 16 students. And so you get that personalization with your faculty. They get to know you, they get to know your goals, your ambitions, what you want to get out of your Meredith experience. Larger classes are probably going to range from 35 to 40, at least at Meredith. Those are going to be more of your general education type classes, but nothing larger than that. So you would never be sitting in a classroom of, you know, a couple hundred students in a lecture hall, which is nice if you're looking for a smaller environment. The student to faculty ratio is more likely going to be on the smaller side. So at Meredith, our student to faculty ratio is about 11:1. We also don't have any teaching assistants teaching any of our classes, so it's all professors, which is another plus. And like I said a minute ago, our faculty really get to know our students, and students don't feel like just a number sitting in a class. At smaller private institutions, you're probably more likely to find easy access in terms of getting help on campus in a variety of ways, whether that's through office hours with your faculty outside of class time. Definitely easier access to professors for academic advising in terms of going over your class schedule for the semester, or any offices such as career planning on campus, or I know Meredith has a free peer tutoring center on campus that is great for assistance in any of our academic subject areas. I know I utilize them quite often my first year as a freshman in calculus, just to get some extra help in math. So that was great for me. Unique majors might also be another thing you might come across with smaller private institutions, in terms of maybe students who also want to create their own major perhaps. So at Meredith, we actually have a pathway for students to create their own major. It's called a contract major. So they can work with students one-on-one with faculty to come up with a major in terms of an interest that or a passion that they have. Maybe we don't actually have that specific major, but they can work with faculty to kind of tailor it to the students and what they're interested in. And then, as I mentioned in my intro slide, Meredith does offer some pretty unique majors. Hospitality management and tourism, we just started about 2 years ago. We have one of the only accredited interior design programs in the Research Triangle Park area. Fashion design and merchandising, dance, environmental sustainability, just to name a few. And then also you're probably going to find more hands-on experiences and more individualized learning at a smaller private institution. Being able to take those classroom lessons and applying them to undergraduate research in that field, or maybe using what you've learned in the classroom to tailor it to an outside experience through a study abroad experience or an internship experience. Some of our academic majors at Meredith do require our students to have at least one internship before they graduate. And some of our students are able to get definitely more than one before they graduate as well. And then also at Meredith, we actually use a personal advising approach with our students through our Strong Points program, which is pretty unique. We kind of describe it as a personal advising and coaching program where students utilize their top strengths within their academic experiences or their experiential learning outcomes, and ultimately what they'd like to see themselves doing career-wise. So maybe some other small private institutions might have some of these more tailored personal advising approaches or programs for their students.
Speaking about student support and personalization, absolutely, you're going to get that, especially with academic advising. So whereas at a bigger school, you might have more generalized advising, let's say for a Psych 101 class, you'll just get general psych advising. Here at Caldwell and at many small schools, you'll get advising for that specific class and for that specific professor who's teaching the class. Additionally to your professors and being able to go to their open office hours, you have peer advisors who are students like yourselves who got a B+ or higher in a class can actually advise students because they took the class already and they were successful in that class. Someone who's able to be in your shoes, who not so long ago, maybe even only a semester ago. And then on top of that, we have professional advisors, professional staff members who are there to help you with your classwork and with anything else. We also have a writing center on campus where you could take a B paper and turn it into an A paper. You'll also keep the same advisor all 4 years. So you're working with that one person who knows you best, who meets with you regularly, and will continue with you on your journey while you're at Caldwell and even beyond. It's not surprising to hear that students are still connected with the professors many years even after they graduated. So sometimes students even invite the professors to their weddings and different things like that. So being at a small school, you're gonna really stay connected. As well as mental health counseling. So with mental health, you wanna know that it's easy to get access to help and that it's available whenever you need it. So not only is it easy to find services, whether it's online or in person, but also you're coming together as a community. So we have different community events. Caldwell University is named a stigma-free campus. So whenever something happens on campus or in the news or in the community, you see all of our students get out there and come together to support each other. As far as accessibility services, we offer everything as far as permanent, temporary, mental, or physical accessibility. So whether you twist your ankle and you can't walk to class, we'll be able to give you a ride to your class from the parking lot or from wherever you are on campus. And if you need extra test taking time, those things are easier to set up. Students might not feel as anxious to be able to get that help because of the friendly faces that they see all over campus wherever you go. When we talk about career planning and development, again, you're going to keep building those deep connections. The great thing about a small school is that the alumni have such a great time that they actually want to come back and help you guys tell their stories and connect you to jobs and opportunities. Professors in your classes, right? We talked about class size. Our Caldwell's class size is a 15 average class size, so professors get to know you on a first name basis, and they could personally recommend internships for you. So they might have a friend of a friend who works in a business or something like that. Our professors are still actively participating in their businesses or in their communities, academic communities. So it's easy to connect you from one place to another and connect you with an opportunity that's the best fit for you. And lastly, higher job placement rates. So Caldwell University actually has 98% of its graduates getting jobs, grad school, or internships. And again, we really believe that's because we have a community that cares, a community that really will go above and beyond for you, because seeing you succeed is really rewarding for us, and it means that we're successful as professionals as well.
Campus culture. So what's really great about smaller campuses is that campus culture plays a large role in the college experience for students. There is a really great sense of community. We're the kind of campuses where, other students hold the door for you. And campus traditions are really coveted by, not only students, but also the faculty, staff, and the community. I always like to use an example at Marywood that kind of displays our, community culture. So we have a huge rotunda, and every single Christmas we put a really large Christmas tree in our rotunda, and we have a tree lighting. So all the clubs and organizations, they hand make ornaments. We have a daycare on campus that brings all of the children to the tree lighting. We have families in the community who bring their, children to the tree lighting, and professors cancel class. And so faculty, staff, the community all comes together for this tree lighting, and the university president and a child from the community lights the tree. So that's just a really good example of, an event that we have that's, a tradition that's coveted, and it's only an example of one. And a lot of small institutions have events like that that are kind of coveted and held onto and, used every single year. We're also rooted in mission and values. So Marywood, we have 5 core values that we really live by. And our students, faculty, and staff, whether it's part of a club or if you're in the classroom or, if you're just out and about by yourself, a lot of our students and alum, faculty, staff, they work really hard to kind of live by those values. And I know a lot of small campuses, they really pride themselves and live by their mission and values. There's also tons of opportunities to get involved in faith-based activities and community service. There's a good amount of private institutions that are religious affiliated, or they were founded by religious institutions, or just have very robust faith organizations on campus. So an example would be with our campus ministry at Marywood. You don't have to, be religious affiliated to participate in any of the service opportunities, any services that happen. They'll connect you with any services. So if you kind of want to do a deep dive and explore your faith, small institutions could be a good fit for that. Also for community service, a lot of smaller institutions kind of pride themselves on the service work they do, not only on campus, but also off campus. And so we at Marywood have activities that happen every single week, that happen once a month, that happen, one time a group of students go and participate in the local animal shelter. And then we also have alternative break trips that allow students to travel to help the need in the world. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of get involved. And a lot of small institutions, pride themselves on that, service foundation. Safety also plays a large role in the campus culture. A lot of smaller schools tend to be, kind of tucked away, very safe, which is really nice. And safety kind of, plays a large role on, how you feel on campus and that community. And then I think one of my favorite things about smaller institutions is that smaller colleges and universities have great connections to the local town and city. And like I said before about our tradition of the tree lighting, we have the local community come to campus for a lot of our tradition and events, and we really include them. But then we also give back to the community, not only through service, and then we also host events in the community. So a lot of our clubs and organizations participate in our Christmas parade that happens in downtown Scranton. We have, our student engagement office works with local businesses to hold off-campus events for a lot of our students. So it's a really great that these smaller institutions, they're able to have that community relationship with the local town and city that they're in.
Some other things you might not have thought about. You're not going to get lost at a small school. It's going to be easy to get to and fro. As far as parking, there's plenty of parking on campus. You're always going to have a parking spot. You don't have to pay for parking. Parking at Caldwell is completely free for students. Some schools will charge you $500 a semester just to park on campus. And freshmen can have cars. Some schools you can't have cars until you're a junior or a senior, but at Caldwell, you could have a car as early as freshman year. As far as being off campus, on campus for parking, all of our parking is on campus. And again, within walking distance of your classes. Traffic's not too bad. And there's always a spot for everybody. Like I mentioned, you don't need to take a bus to a commuter parking lot. We don't have garages where you have to go circles around and possibly, get in a car accident because you didn't see someone coming around at 30 miles an hour, right? So it's a lot more convenient. You have a lot less stress to worry about parking, especially if you're a commuter. As far as laundry, if you're living on campus, it's free. And it's also close by. So usually there's a laundry facility on your floor or even in the basement of your building. So you don't have to go, a mile across campus in your pajamas to be able to do laundry at 1 a.m. As far as the residence halls, you're going to know everybody in your building, super safe, like we were mentioning. There's no skyscrapers, so you don't have to worry about, running upstairs or if there's a fire or something like that. The biggest building on our campus only has 3 floors. And then as far as food, I like to say it's more quality than quantity. So you're able to get really personalized meals. So if you have special dietary needs or accommodations that you need, we can do that. And something special that Caldwell does for students, we have a lot of student teachers here because education is really popular. So some of our cafeteria members are actually able to make our internship students bagged lunches to go. And I never really heard of that happening in any other school before. So I think that's something really cool that we do that might be a little bit different. And again, so that's something that small schools will do, that if you're looking for that kind of experience, you feel like you're at a home away from home, maybe a small school is the right fit for you.
So involvement and leadership, everyone wants to be involved in some capacity, right, on a college campus. You want to feel like you're a part of that campus community and culture. So getting involved in life outside of the academic classroom is just as important as studying hard and focusing on your academics. Certainly really allows you to meet new people, learn new things, expand your horizons through involvement in various clubs. But Meredith specifically, we offer over 100 clubs and organizations for students on campus, and anywhere from about 500 to 600 leadership positions for our women. And so there's definitely something for every type of student across interest levels. You might find at smaller private institutions that you have more of a flexibility or the ability to start your own clubs, given that you have a particular interest in something. I know we've had students at Meredith start their own clubs. Our lacrosse team is actually now a varsity sport, but it started out as a club interest with students, and it gained enough ground to then become a varsity level sport at our Division III level, and they've done very well for themselves over the last 7 or 8 years. Some of our students are also involved in producing a weekly newspaper for the college or working on the yearbook, and we also have an award-winning art and literature journal that our art students have put together called the Colton Review. Within involvement and clubs and organizations on campuses certainly are opportunities to lead and become a stronger leader. So I think at a smaller institution, you're definitely going to be seen and heard on campus. You're going to gain those skills that future employers will probably value. You'll be able to build confidence in either your communication and or your problem solving skills. At Meredith, we offer a lot of different ways for our women to become stronger leaders and gain confidence, whether that's through leadership seminars, conferences where women can, where our women students can engage in various leadership discussions and team building activities, and also using their leadership skills to mentor other students who aspire to become strong leaders as well. We have a pretty neat, like a mentoring program for incoming freshmen that I was a part of when I was a student at Meredith, called the Big Sis, Little Sis program. And basically just coming in as a freshman allows you to be paired with someone who's, quote, your big sis, who's a junior already at Meredith. And so that's a nice kind of relationship, a friendly face to have on campus in terms of helping you get acclimated to campus life and just being a first-time college student. At smaller private institutions, you're probably going to be able to have more access to on-campus jobs as well. A lot of times these work-study opportunities for students are housed within the financial assistance offices on campus. So these federal work-study opportunities really allow students to earn part of their educational expenses through part-time employment while also getting an education and concentrating on their academics. So I know at Meredith, our jobs kind of on campus range anywhere from students working in various academic departments to working in the library or the dining hall or the campus tutoring center, which I mentioned earlier, which is a paying work study position. So it's money you earn on the side for you to keep. And so there are various ways for our students to feel like they're also earning a living, so to speak, while getting an education on campus. Usually in August, when students enroll at Meredith and start classes, we kind of have an orientation with financial assistance where students can learn more about these on-campus job opportunities.
Perks of the admissions process at a small college or university. So there, as we talked about, there's so many other perks, but one of them is definitely the admissions process. So you have the opportunity to get to know your admissions counselor and have a great connection with them and the admissions office. You are actually going to have a lot of opportunity for scholarships and grants. I know, when you hear private, small school, you might think that it could be a little bit more expensive than, maybe a larger state school, but we do offer a lot of merit-based scholarships and different grants. I know Marywood specifically, we give a really nice merit-based scholarship with our decision letters, and then also, our financial aid office works to have Marywood specific grants to give to our students, and I know a lot of other smaller institutions are the exact same way. So the admissions at smaller colleges, the admissions counselors, they're able to advocate for our students. So, if you're just shy of meeting qualifications or, if there's something in your application, we're able to kind of take that and be able to help advocate for you and make sure that, not only that you get into programs, but that also, once you're here or, planning your academic steps to come here, that you have the accommodations that you need. We also have the opportunity for individualized tours and different unique visiting options. So we actually, some of our departments have department days, so you can come and learn about your major and then also get to know Marywood a little bit more. And then our faculty is really great. So, we schedule tours and meetings with admissions, but then you have the opportunity to sit down with the chair of the department and get to work with them on one-on-one. At a lot of smaller institutions, that is the case. You have the opportunity to meet different people in different departments, where at larger institutions, you might not have access to all of those people. There is flexibility in the admissions process. Like I said before, a lot of us are rolling admissions, which means, not only there's a little bit of flexibility with deadlines, but the turnaround time for applications is pretty quick. So, once you have all your application materials in, you'll find out pretty soon whether you're in the school or not. There are no wait lists, so a lot of our programs, it evens out the amount of students who apply and qualify for different majors. You don't have to sit on a waiting list waiting to see if you get into your program or not. And I think a major thing is you also have access to financial aid counseling. So At smaller institutions, the financial aid counselors are very accessible. You're able to talk to them. I know our financial aid office, you can call them, you can email them. They even have virtual meetings now with a lot of our students to kind of walk them through their financial aid package and make sure that they understand everything and that they're filling out the FAFSA. So that's something really great. You know, if you have a lot of questions or worried about financial aid, you know, with our merit-based scholarships and grants that smaller institutions give, and with that financial aid counseling, you know, you probably will be able to afford, you know, a smaller institution just like any other institution. And then if you have any questions or are interested in our institutions, feel free to give us a contact us. And so we're actually going to be answering some questions now. So if you have any questions, drop them in the text box, but I'll stop sharing my screen so we can talk to you face to face a little bit better. All right.
Someone asked, is attendance mandatory? And I would say to that, at a smaller school, like we said, your professors know who you are. So yes, you probably should attend class. Maybe if your classes are a little bit on the bigger side, you can get away with it, but that's only going to hurt you in the end. You're paying money to go to class, so it's always a good idea to go to class to be able to learn. Of course, if you're able to. And same thing goes for virtually too nowadays. You should try to attend as many of your classes as you can.
I know a frequently asked question for me is, because we're a religious affiliated school, do you have to participate in faith-based activities or organizations? And the answer is no. You can, you know, have some flexibility. It does depend on the school, you know, what they require. We do require some faith-based classes, but you don't have to be any particular, you know, religion or from any faith to participate in any of our activities. And we give our students a little bit of flexibility. So if you want to participate, you can. If you don't, that's totally okay too.
A lot of one question that I usually get often is, you know, what type of student are you looking for in the college, you know, in the college admission process? I always tell students who are applying to Meredith that we're really looking. We number one look at the admission process holistically. So we're going to look at the quality of your writing and your essay. We're going to be looking at what types of leadership positions you've had in your school or outside in the community. What can you then bring to the, or want to bring to the Meredith community and maybe continue for 4 years in college. We definitely look at your transcript, you know, how you've challenged yourself within the classroom, what curriculum has been offered to you. So I think we look more for the well-roundedness of the student. We really do read everything in your application. Everything is valuable to us. And that's how we really get to know you as a person too, just beyond what you submit to us on your application. And so another optional thing for our application actually is, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the ZME free resource for students. And so it's a fun way to bring your application to life. And so that's an option for our part of the application, where you can create like a short video talking about your interest in Meredith, or your academic interests, your goals, what you like to do in your spare time. And that just helps us bring your application to life a little bit more. And so we really love to get to know what you're interested in and what your goals and ambitions are. And so that's really important to us.
Furthermore on that, the more you keep in touch with us, the more we're going to want to help you. So if you're borderline for a scholarship or you're borderline to get accepted to a program, we will make that extra push for you. We will advocate for you. I have no problem going to my vice president's office and asking them to be able to accept you or give you increased scholarship money. When I know that you're really cool, you always, you know, let me know where you're at in the process, ask lots of questions. You know, so we want to help you as much as you want to be helped.
I know one question I get a lot, and you know, something that's important to know, that at small institutions, you know, the the alumni base for job connections once you graduate in our career development centers. It's a really great opportunity. Like, we have a large alumni base and we stay in contact. Our professors stay in contact with a lot of our alum. So the opportunities to be connected to jobs and internships is really high, just because we have those personal connections. So, you know, you as a student, you're gonna get to know professors and you're gonna graduate and you're gonna get a job. And so you'll be able to help students at that institution too. So at smaller schools, it's really neat just because we do kind of keep very connected with our alum, and our professors are very well connected in general. So those opportunities for internships and jobs are really great compared to, you know, other institutions.
All right, everybody. Anybody have any additional questions? No? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you one last time. Thank you all for joining us. After you close out of this window, you're going to see there's a quick 4-question survey that will appear. Please make sure you take just a minute to fill that out for us. You have the opportunity to sign up for some additional sessions. You can do that at njaacac.org/virtual fair. And this recording will be available to review. All sessions will be available probably within the next few days. You can find that again on the website. So thank you for joining us, and everyone have a great day.